Andy Flexen here for Seconds Out with the latest edition of Seconds Out FLEXpectations, our weekly look ahead at the big shows and big fights to come at the weekend. We're here at the palatial Grange City Hotel in London's Tower Hill. We're ahead of time for the Matchroom press conference announcing their big show at the end of March at the Copper Box Arena, headlined by Charlie Edwards making his first defence of the WBC flyweight title against Angel Moreno. But we're here to talk about more pressing issues, namely the shows this weekend. There's one you should look out for on Box Nation, Jose Ramirez defending his WBC super lightweight title, early hours of Monday morning, so it's a Sunday night show. But I guess the biggest show this weekend will take place in Carson, California on Saturday night with Gervonta Davis making his long-awaited return. WBA super featherweight champion, we haven't seen him in action for a while. He's been disappointingly inactive. He's supposed to come back with a relatively big fight against former three-weight world champion Abner Mares. Worryingly for Mares, he was forced to withdraw from the fight at relatively late notice when it was found he had a detached retina. So we obviously wish Mares all the best in coming back. Hugo Ruiz has come in at short notice, not the best replacement, but given the context and circumstances, we can't complain too much. It's just going to be good to see Davis back in action. Very exciting fighter, fast hands, a lot of flair, good footwork. Read a really interesting piece on Davis this morning. As you can see, the crowd here are getting a bit rowdy. They've obviously realised that FLEXpectations is being filmed in their midst. You can understand them being a bit overawed, but I'm sure they'll soon get used to it and calm down. But getting back to Gervonta Davis, someone who is worthy of our awe, read a really great piece on him in the LA Times online this morning by Lance Pugmire. Just talking about his background, you know, his mother was a drug addict who was forced to give him up to the courts very early on in his life. His father was in prison. I don't want to spoil the whole story for you. You really should read it. It's great interview with Gervonta. But he basically got saved by Calvin Ford, who's his trainer, a well-known Baltimore fight figure. The character of Cutty, for fans of The Wire out there, was based on Calvin Ford, like a former long-time prison inmate who turned his life around by nurturing the kids of his local area via boxing. So Gervonta is the real-life kind of incarnation of that story, and he's risen to the top. Been a bit brash at times outside the ring, got involved in some social media beef he perhaps didn't need to, but he has all the talent. He's a Floyd Mayweather protege, and he should make relatively short work of Ruiz and then move on to bigger and better things. Also on that show, Erickson Lubin, who was touted as a huge super welterweight prospect and then got destroyed in a round by one of the Charlo brothers, is you know, he's been rebuilding under the radar, but this is a big show on Showtime. He's fighting veteran former world champion Ishe Smith. Ishe Smith is as much as 12-1 to win outright in some markets, so definitely worth maybe thinking of doing some research on that fight, maybe having a punt on it. Smith very rarely gets beaten out of hand. You know, he's a classy guy even at his advanced age, can push anyone all the way, and Lubin's still very untested. His only real fight at this level saw him get destroyed in a round, so a bet on Smith at 12-1 is not the most outlandish thing you've ever heard. So a good show overall, well worth watching. Other big thing to look forward to as we're on FLEXpectations, that's our business here. We found out yesterday that Frank Warren had won the purse bids for Josh Warrington's IBF mandatory featherweight title defence against Kid Galahad. Galahad obviously with Matchroom, Josh Warrington a key part of the Frank Warren BT Sport stable. So we can expect that to be here. It could possibly be on BT Sport box office pay-per-view, which will undoubtedly raise some eyebrows, but Warrington's proved he's a huge draw both at the gate and on TV. So it's a very intriguing fight. A lot of people are already writing Galahad off, but he's got a very slick, tricky, counter-punching style, which could be, you know, the correct antidote to Warrington's brand of intelligent pressure fighting. We've seen him overcome a big puncher in Cole Frampton. We've seen him overcome a rangy boxer in Lee Selby. But this is yet another different style to go up against Warrington and Kid Galahad. And Barry Awad, Kid Galahad, as he's otherwise known, spoke to him at the Ingle Gym maybe 2 weeks ago. He's hugely confident about this fight. He's felt for a long time he's got Warrington's number. The fact that it's definitely going to happen now, and there was some doubt about it, whether Warrington was going to give up the belt, it looks likely that it's definitely going to happen now. That's just going to fill him with more confidence. Big payday for him as well. I'm sure he can't wait to get on. Warrington, you'd be mad to pick against him, and we're certainly not doing any picks until the fight's a bit closer anyway, but he's proved people wrong his last two fights, and now he steps onto the breach again before going on, he hopes, to unification fights in the summer. So let us know what you think below of Gervonta Davis. Are you happy about him coming back? Who would you like to see him fight? There's a lot of big fights out there for him in and around his weight division. And also, what do you think of Kid Galahad, Josh Warrington? Who wins that and why? And, you know, what did you think about Matchroom losing the purse bids to Frank Warren? Is it a case of who's the bigger priority for their respective promoter, perhaps? We'll be back next week, as we are every Thursday, 4:30 p.m. with FLEXpectations, and we look forward to seeing you there. Cheers.